it's Vicky here again. Today's conversation will be about multiple sclerosis and the power of silence. Or any situation, doesn't have to be multiple sclerosis, but any hardship that you're going through, a lot of the times, I was reminded today, I was reminded today of the great impression that and great help that silence had for me at one point in my life. My life was falling apart. My relationship was going south. My multiple sclerosis symptoms were just scattered all over the place. I didn't know what was going on internally, emotionally, physically. I just didn't know where my life was heading. It was a really hard time in my life. This was over 10 years ago. However, it was a very impactful moment for me. And honestly, my mom is usually a person, if you know her, if you ever vent to her, and even growing up, she was never my friend, she was my mom, and she was going to tell me what was good and what was bad, and she was going to try to find a solution for me. And I think that's where I got my problem solving from and solutions. And so I love that about her. But at this time in my life, I needed silence, and I didn't even know I needed silence. I didn't know. I was just, my mind was going everywhere. Like, it was uncertainty everywhere I looked. So my son was not even 3 years old. I don't think at that time. He was a baby. I had moved into my mom's house, which, not saying I would hate to go to my mom's house, but if you know me, that was a setback for me to go live at my mom's house. And since I was 18, I never wanted to go back to my mom's house. I'm sorry, Mom, nothing against you, I love you, but to me that was a setback. And I was very emotional around that time. It was only about 3 months of my life that I was going through that, but anytime I tried to talk about that situation, there was a knot in my throat. And a lot of people didn't know that because I was silent about that situation going on. And I always thought that my mom was going to have a speech, for me, or give me advice, or tell me what to do or what not to do. She never did that. From the time that I moved into her house, she was silent about my situation. All she would ask, and most Latin parents, if you have one, they're awesome. They will ask you if you're hungry. They just want to know if you're hungry, and I'm the same way. I'm just asking everyone if they're hungry all the time, and they're like, stop asking me that. My husband and my son are like, stop asking me that, it's just because you're hungry. But I'm just always, I feel that if your belly is full and you're happy, then you're good. If your belly isn't full, then you're hungry, you might be hangry in a little bit. So I just want to know that you're okay. So that's why I ask if you're hungry. But either way, my mom never said a word. The only thing she ever asked was, are you okay? Even knowing that I wasn't okay, I definitely just nodded my head because I couldn't talk about my situation since it was so hard for me to talk about it at that time. But the best therapy I could ever have from my mom was at the time, silence. And honestly, she would sit with me at the table, and in the back of my head, I would always think, oh my God, here it comes. It's going to come. The speech or the advice or whatever is going to come. I'm just waiting for it, right? I was just waiting for it. However, it never came. And honestly, I've never even known why. She never said anything about it. But honestly, that was the best thing she could ever do. My mom, if you know my mom, she is a person that she's going to resolve. Again, like I said, she's going to resolve your issue. You can't vent to her without her putting her 2 cents into it most of the time because she feels that she's going to help you, right? But I don't know if it was her mother instinct and she just knew that I needed silence, or my stepdad told her don't tell me anything, or she's just that intelligent. And I feel my mom is a really intelligent person, but I don't know what the reason was, but she didn't say anything. And that honestly was the best thing that she could have ever done for me at that moment of hardship that I was going through. Everything was so just mixed up in my head. It was just, I couldn't make sense of a lot of things going on in my life at that moment. And no matter what anybody said to me or what information they were trying to throw at me at the moment, it didn't make sense to me. So I just want to remind anyone that, doesn't understand what's going on right now, whether it be COVID-19, and I'm not going to talk about that, but it's just an example, or a relationship, or MS symptoms, or a diagnosis. Sometimes silence is the best therapy and the best thing that can happen. So this was a short video. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day, and I wish you guys the best.